Here we have a Dell Inspiron 17R, and we're going to open up and explore the insides. This is a 17-inch model. With this particular model, you can change the back cover by pulling on the button and lifting up the cover. They'll sell these covers for $70, $80 or $90 each, just for a plastic cover. They sell it in multiple different colors, and I believe you can design your own artwork on it. So now we're going to flip to the back, and we're going to remove the back cover by removing 2 screws. We're going to remove the battery now. This is the RAM, hard drive 1 bay, hard drive 2, SATA, and the wireless card. We first going to remove the hard drive by removing 4 screws holding the hard drive caddy down. Now we have the screws removed, so you pull it down and tilt it up to remove the hard drive. Now we're going to remove the screws surrounding the back. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 screws, and there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 screws on the bottom. 6 screws is holding the DVD drive down. With the screws on the screws I'm removing now, these screws are the longer screws. I'll show you later compared to the other screws that are inside. This here is the DVD drive screw. By removing this screw, you can remove the DVD drive. As you can see, the screws inside and the screws outside. There's the longer one, and there's the medium screw. There's also another screw that's smaller than that. Pulling out the DVD drive. Behind the DVD drive, there's 3 screws as well. These are the smaller screws. you can see the difference, 3 different size screws. Removing the RAM. Now we unscrew the wireless card and remove the strings holding the wireless card down. We're now going to open the laptop up and remove the keyboard, as there's 4 screws under the keyboard. So to remove the keyboard we need a prying tool. If you don't have one, you can use a flathead Phillips screwdriver. So first you just need to put it in. It's just to separate the hinge from the keyboard. When you push it in, you should hear a click and the keyboard pops up a bit. By pushing all 4 down, you'll be able to remove the keyboard. Sometimes you have to do it more than once. So first we remove all the clips, which are 2 clips for holding the keyboard down. We now remove all the other clips. That's the power button, the mouse, as in touchpad, sorry about that, the side, and that are the extra buttons on top. There are 4 screws, as I have previously said. We need to remove these 4 screws so we can remove the top cover off. As you can see how, as I'm removing the screws on the side, I put the screws separately. Remember, as all the screws are, there's 3 different sizes of screws, you need to remember which screw go where. Generally, the size means the thickness of the plastic. So, now that all the screws are removed, just put your hand in the DVD hole and lift it up gently, and it should just come off. As you can see, I have forgot to remove something from the back, which are the battery hole, has 2 screws holding it down as well. So this is why when we pry gently. With all the screws removed, it should just come off instantly or easily. While you're trying to pry it open and it doesn't pry anymore, you can see that you ran into a problem, and check the surrounding areas to see what is the problem. Now here's the inside, the motherboard. We're pushing the cables out from the motherboard so the motherboard can be removed. Remember to remove the SD card slot, as it does block the weight of removing the motherboard. There's 4 screws holding the motherboard down. Remember, that's the sound card, sound bar I'm removing the plug for. And that's the monitor LCD cable. Now there's 4 screws holding the motherboard down, and there's also 2 screws holding the fan down, which also has to be removed. as you can see, you lift it up from the inside, slightly to the left. As you can see, I'm trying to lift it up, but it's not coming off. So there's another issue, which is I have forgotten a screw. It's just basic problem solving by removing one screw and then testing if the motherboard removes. If it doesn't, go on to the next one. That is the power cable, which goes under the motherboard. Now we have removed the motherboard. So this is what a motherboard looks like for the Dell Inspiron 17R. That is the graphic card behind there, which is not removable, and that's the CPU, which is removable. You can change the CPU if you wish. Now we're going to remove 4 screws to remove the LCD hinge. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So to remove the LCD cover, just put your fingers on it, under the plastic, and lift it up, as there's no screws holding it down. The bottom has sticky tape plus plastic hinges holding it down, so it just needs to give it a bit of work. The cover is soft plastic. As you can see, it's pretty simple to remove the front cover. That's the web camera. And that's basically it. Thanks for watching my video. This disassemble is more complex. Please remember to remove all screws, remove all clips, and remove all components before proceeding on. And remember to put your screws aside so you know which screw goes where. And try not to get your screws in the wrong place.